This is the third section in this application, which is the production schedule. This is where if you're going to do vehicle repair or a restoration of a vehicle from scratch, you would take the information, and in this case, this would be the pre-information where you're actually looking at the vehicle and you're deciding whether or not you want to purchase it. You may visit different locations and look at different vehicles, but if you plan to actually buy the vehicle, you would spend more time to take a conditional view of the vehicle to assess what has to be done to it. You can estimate about the amount of the rebuild estimate for the vehicle, in this case $10,000. In this record, the actual vehicle was purchased for $3,400, and you estimate that you would complete it by this date and time, starting back in December 4th when you first plan to start working. Now, if you're in the field and you're looking at a vehicle to purchase, not all this information would be added yet. What you're actually doing is getting conditions and estimating what the cost would be to do a restoration or repair. There's additional information we'll be covering on these two screens. If you purchase the vehicle, you would add things like the VIN number, the license plate, and the license date and registration information. And this is for historical information. If you sell the vehicle, you have all that information before the actual restoration was done. There are two portals in this screen. This is the estimated labor and materials that you're going to be doing. As far as the labor itself, you're putting in the kinds of things you're going to have to do in these fields. There are also pop-up edit screens for each one of these drop-down lists that are in the green fields that allow you to go to that screen, edit that screen, and add additional information as far as items you want to add to your drop-down list. You can have an infinite number of items if you wanted them. When you come back to the list, each one of these colored items with an underline has a different listing that you can modify if you want to. What you would do is you would start a number for each individual item in order of the precedence of them getting done, and it's sorted by this number. So 1.1 would obviously come first, and if you're going to go to different sections of the vehicle like the engine, you could start it at a 2.0 for the engine work. For example, if you're doing the fuel system, maybe you want to do a 3.0, so you can break it out by actual sections on the vehicle for the restoration work that's going to be done. The whole point of this part of the application is to gather information and to plan the labor that's going to be required. In this case, you can see where we actually started the restoration and we're doing removals and disassembly, cleaning, and ordering of parts. And you can see that the individual labor time and cost is added over here from the basic labor cost for that individual. And if you clicked on this field, you'll see the labor for this given person. You can see that in here, that's his labor rate. Then you put in the time that you estimated it's going to take to do the work, and it'll calculate the amount of cost for each individual line as you're running through. Now, these are still estimations up on this side. It'll also summarize that information down here. There's entered the minutes. For example, you could put in 90 minutes. It'll give you the time decimal that you would use in this space up here for 90 minutes, and then it would calculate the cost based on that. There's a labor list view, so you can look at all the labor in a list view screen. When you actually do complete each one of these, the matching preface here is used to set up the actual labor that was actually used during the process of performing the restoration or repair. And that's on this individual record that you created. There's a photo portal over here on this side. It is a scrolling area, so you can add as many pictures as you want during the restoration, and you can put an information on each individual picture as to what that picture is for, and you can add photo notes. If you click on this individual thing here, this little icon button, it'll go in and show you the individual picture. And in addition to that, it'll also give you a field for taking photo notes or a larger amount of notes to read. On the server version, there's actually a different section over here where you can paste in and control what's going on the server as far as adding pictures. If you're using an iPad, laptop, or desktop, this would just be what you would see on this screen. You return to the other screen by clicking on this icon. That's an overview of the production schedule. We will next go to the production schedule list view, production schedule build list view.